So, if you are a traveler, when you land in a foreign nation, nations like China, Thailand, Japan, Singapore, when you land in these nations as a Nigerian, especially if you've not traveled before, you would need to realign your mind to reality, because it would look like the heavens that they preach to us in the Bible and the Quran. Because guess what? We have been deprived of these things. Nigerians live as though they are living under a rock, especially those who happen not to live in the major cities of Nigeria. Why? It is not because we do not have natural resources. It is not because we do not have enough money, for instance, if money is the problem. It is not that we do not have manpower. It is not that we do not have human resources to help us develop as fast as other nations. It is not. It is simply, like Chinua Achebe mentioned in The Trouble with Nigeria, written in 1977, squarely the problem of leadership. We have a very bad leadership, succession of leadership from the 1960s up until now. There has never been leaders that we can look back on and say, this is the one we thank God for as a nation. Although there are glimmer of hope from so many of them, like Michael Opala in the Eastern region, Akintola, during the post-colonial era, during the regional system of government. That is why, personally, I still advocate for regional system of government, because those were the eras we had our best development as a nation. I wouldn't subscribe to military rule in 2025, but military rulers were even better than what we have now as civilians. The civilians seem to be more engrossed with personal aggrandizement, with squander money mentality, buying private jets and going for pilgrimage and going for hospital tourism around the world, when we do not have a hospital. So let's talk about them. Number one, let's talk about the health sector. Is there a hospital in Nigeria now? Is there a hospital in Nigeria now that our politicians can proudly say that this is the hospital I get my treatment from, that I'm not going to France or going to Germany or going to China or Japan or UK? You can imagine a situation where the immediate past head of state of Nigeria, who stayed on seat for 8 good years, had to die in a foreign land. And remember, one of our great writers said that if you perform so badly as a nation, you will die in a foreign land and you will be brought back to Nigeria indignantly as a cargo. And so it keeps happening. Our leaders have been dying abroad and being brought back to us as cargo. That is how shameful it is, that our leaders have to spend $3,000 a night in a hospital in the UK, private hospital in that case, in the United Kingdom, London Hospital. That is where the former head of state of Nigeria died in, and he was shipped back to Nigeria as a cargo. Can you imagine the shamefulness it is? Let's think about the hospitals. Have you gone to Lutz? Have you gone to general hospitals? The beds are not worthy of poultry. If you go to our hospitals, you will shed blood. If you visit our hospitals as somebody who has traveled out of Nigeria for some years, you will come back and weep. These things are not far from what senators, the money they receive monthly and the ones they underhandly squander is not up to what they will use to fix the hospitals. Many deaths in Nigeria, many people who have died in Nigeria did not die because it is their time to die. They died because of privation of good health care. Why? Because we have succession of evil and wicked, heartless leaders. And now let's come out of hospitals. Let's go into roads. In 2025, people still construct roads that last 2 weeks. Just a rainfall and they wash away. People still swim in their rooms because the drainages are flooded. People still have to spend 12 hours for journeys of 2 hours because the roads are bad. And do you know the preoccupation of the APC-led government? The coastal highway. And how much are they spending? Billions. And what have they built? Go there now, there are no drainages, and the coastal highway are being destroyed by rain. Because some people want to squander money. We are more interested in squandering money. And what do they do with this money that they squander? They buy houses abroad. They go to other nations and develop their nations with our money. Because come to think of it, there is something my father used to say. He doesn't care about politicians, squandering money. What he baffles about is, what else would somebody do with money? If I give you ₦1 billion and you build a successful company, for instance, let's say you are not in government, and I give you ₦1 billion, you build a successful company, you build a good house, a duplex, mansion, if that is what pleases you. Buy 3, 4, 5 cars. What else? Buy private jet. What else? Have some staff working for you. So what else is somebody doing with trillions and billions? In fact, when you listen to the case of Diezani and there's so many of them who squandered money, you begin to wonder the kind of heart this. Nigeria, the devil would be learning. Satan would be learning from our politicians the level of wickedness, the level of insensitivity and heartlessness they have. It baffles me, it beats my imagination. Why somebody will squander such an amount meant for the general good? Why? And some private individuals trying to make things happen, trying to create joy for others, become the problem. They go around the televisions. One governor had to say that a private individual who spent his money trying to develop the health sector of Nigeria by helping the nursing students, donating his private money is now his problem. While he as a governor has not done any single thing with his D7 results of WAEC and NECO. Shameful. So let's leave the roads. Let's look at our airports. Let's look at the school system. Have you been to, I remember when Kemi Badenoch, the UK conservative leader, was talking about the school that she went to. People started bashing her. But would you bash her? Have you been to our government schools? I studied in Anambra State. Had it been that Peter Obi was not so interested in education, before Peter Obi came, I was in JS1 or 2 around then. That was 2002, 2000. There were some schools that I know that have no windows. They have no doors, no security. The children come there and they stay with no security. There is no library. There is no laboratory. What we have as laboratory is one tiny thing, and everybody gather. In Nigeria, we still draw butterfly and draw agama lizard when our mates are using live agama lizard. In fact, I did PK education for some students here, and the children were experimenting with the heart of pigs, kidney of pigs, and I was laughing. I was laughing because I studied in a broken system. And mind you, I graduated from one of the best schools in Nigeria. One of the best schools in Nigeria. And still, I could look at these children and know I didn't go through this process. There was no opportunity for this. So I look at them and say, you don't know what you have until you visit Nigeria, visit Africa generally. How did we get here? No school, no road, no public transportation. no hospital. So what do we have as a nation? What can we boast of as a nation? So what are all these 309 senators, all these House of Assembly, House of Reps, House of this and House of that? Just bunch of irresponsible, clueless set of individuals parading themselves as politicians. And why is it so? Because they made it palatable. If it's something of service, none of them will be there. In fact, people now treat political offices as a form of incentive. They leave their jobs and they take on politics because if they are lecturers, for instance, they may be receiving 400,000 as lecturer, 300,000. That is the okokoko of the whole thing. They are highest paid. They should be celebrated because they are receiving 400,000, which is not up to $300. And why wouldn't such a person enter politics to receive 29 million a month as a senator? Why? 29 million is, let's not talk about the allowances. Let's not talk about the money meant for projects that they squander steadily. So I ask once again, what did we commit as Nigerians? What is our offense as Nigerians? How did we get it wrong? Who did we offend? Remember, this remains the diary of a broken man. I will need your opinions in the comment section. What do you think? How do we get it right? Because 2027 is already at the corner. It's around the corner. And we have to get it right. We have to say Sorosoke. We have to say enough is enough. So let me know, how do you think we can say enough is enough? How do we think we can change this scenario and become competitive like other nations? Start competing with other nations. You remember that Lee Kuan Yew, the first prime minister of Singapore, was in Nigeria as a Malaysian in 1960. There was nothing like Singapore as at then. And all of a sudden, Nigerians now queue in line to go to Singapore and do menial jobs for them. So let me know in the comment section how you think we can change this. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. This remains the diary of a broken man, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.